Hi there, it's Vivian in London. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite British painters. Her name is Beryl Cook. I'm sure some of you may have heard of her name, and some of you probably are a huge fan of her work already. Beryl Cook is very famous in the UK, but I thought she is not well known overseas yet, so I want just to introduce her work to you. Preparing this video, I tried to remember how I met Beryl's first painting, and then I started to laugh. I remember where and which work very clearly. It was in a ladies' toilet in a pub, Red Lion in Bradley to be accurate. When I was washing my hands, I noticed a few prints around the wall, so I walked close to have a better look. And this was what I saw. Once my friend told me, human brain is the most erotic thing in the world. How true it is. The scene captures a moment when a lady is opening her beautiful fur coat to an English gentleman who's passing by at night. We don't see her face. All we can see is her big fur coat and red high heel shoes. I assume she must be a lady of night. The man who's wearing a dark suit with a bowler's hat on, clutching newspapers, seemed shocked, but obviously trying to calm himself down. Still, can I help but his eyes being fixated on her? Well, who can blame that? We don't know what happens afterwards with all this sexual innuendo, but you will find yourself thinking about it because it is amusing just to imagine the scene. My friend whom I went with visited the Red Lion pub several times before me, so he knew the owner is a huge fan of Beryls. He kindly introduced me to her, and then we started talking about Beryl's painting. And then she said she has a large print of Beryls in her bedroom and would like to bring and show us next time if we phone her before coming. And of course we did. It was very erotic print with a hint of humor in a beautiful oval frame. I was really surprised by the size of the print. The width was at least 50 centimeters. The prints in the ladies' toilet were much smaller, probably smaller than A4 size paper. The lady on the right is lighting up a cigar for a lady on the left who's lying across on a daybed. It could be just me, but the posture reminds me of Anger's the famous Grand Odalisque. Somehow the red lampshade at the background of the cigar and the void that the fingers of the ladies on the right create make the cigar look like a makeup brush rather than a cigar. Do you think it's intentional? The ladies are wearing very sexy clothes and heavy makeup. They have this confidence saying, I know which button to press to evoke sexual desire from you. I love the color used and the patterns of fabrics in this painting. And I think the composition of the two people and the closed-up image amplify the sultry atmosphere to the viewers. It's nearly 10 years ago, so I'm not really sure if the same lady owner is running the pub. Anyway, since the time I started to look for information about the painter, and that's how I met Beryl's work. I was disappointed to find out she had passed away a few years before, but what made me more upset was that I also missed her several retrospective exhibitions which were held right after her death. I would have visited them all. Then 5 years later, I came across her prints again in a carpet sale. 6 prints were already glass framed, and I bought them just for £10. Yes, that was a deal. I hung 2 of them above my dressing table, and the rest are still stored, waiting for the right place to be hung. What surprised me was that Beryl was a private and very shy person. I mean, she didn't want to go to the public ceremony for her own OBE because she didn't want to appear in public. Who does that? It was something I didn't expect after seeing all of the lively and rather bold and sexy characters in her paintings. According to her husband John, Beryl often painted herself in various guises, such as on a motorbike, or in a shiny corset, as a cheerleader, or even dancing the tango. I think we can safely say that they are herself. Beryl wanted to be in her real life. This aspect made me appreciate her work more. I could picture Beryl observing secretly at the background of a cheerful crowd and a bunch of people enjoying their time. Aren't we all like that sometimes? But it's not just her observation you notice, but also her attention to the details. Although Beryl's style is not photorealistic, you can actually make a story on what they're doing thanks to the details around the characters. Some are from her memories and some are from her imagination. One thing I love about her work is that characters are not beautiful or handsome 20s and 30s. They are rather rounded and middle-aged men and women. They are all laughing all the time, and the situation they are in makes you laugh. I wonder how much you would agree with me on this, but it seems as we get older, we have less things to laugh or smile, and many to worry about instead. So when I see these characters traveling, partying, and having fun with friends, I feel happy as if I were there. I envy them to some extent. I believe many people love Beryl's work for the same reason. She loved animals, especially cats and dogs. You can tell from her paintings. There are many with cats, and in some of the paintings, they are the main subject. She brilliantly captures their cheeky, elegant, or mischievous looks, just as she did for the people. Most of the topics, places, and costumes are from what Beryl saw or experienced. Indeed, you can tell she had really nice lifestyle. In some cases, Beryl added something imaginary to complete the scene. How do I know? Well, I'm not a psychic. Beryl often left notes on the work she did in the published books, and the notes as more fun to understand their paintings. For example, Cruising 1 captures her memory from her cruise trip. On a lovely sunny day, ladies are in jacuzzi, while others are sunbathing on the deck. Perhaps it was impressive to Beryl to see an extremely large man taking shower, so she painted him at the left. Happy moment, I wouldn't argue, but it's missing 2% to be perfect. So Beryl transformed the scene using her imagination in Cruising 2, and here's her note on the painting. Would you believe she started painting when she was around 40 and didn't have any formal training? I mean, that's my age now, and I know it's not easy to start anything from scratch. Where does that energy come from? For an artist, It's significant to have their own styles to make their work immediately recognizable. But many of them do not achieve that. Well, Beryl did without any formal training. Isn't it amazing? Beryl Cook was born in 1926 in Surrey, England, as one of 4 daughters. It seems she's from a well-off family. It's just her parents separated when she was young. But her mother, or Beryl, didn't have any financial difficulties, which was really fortunate. She came to London to work as a model when she finished school and married her childhood friend John, who was in the Merchant Navy. That's when she was 22. Then the whole family moved to Zimbabwe and stayed there until mid-1960s. It was there she painted her first painting called Hangover. I once watched a video where a curator of the exhibition speaks about Beryl's early work. When I heard the title, I thought it was about her having hangover after heavy drinking on a party, but it has more literal meaning. I will leave a link below to the video in case you want to watch it. After returning to England, they moved to Cornwall and settled in Plymouth in 1968. Until she died in 2008. They ran a guest house on the Hoy in Plymouth, and it was one of her guests who recognized her talent and introduced Beryl to the Plymouth Arts Centre. And in 1976, she had her first show at the Portal Gallery. She was 50 years old then. What was fascinating is that we can still find some places in the painting in Plymouth. Well, after all, she lived 40 years there. She knew every bits and corners in Plymouth. So no wonder why she is one of the painters who represents Plymouth. Throughout her life with John, she had a stable marriage life without big crises in life, which helped her producing more paintings and other commissions. You can buy Beryl's limited signed prints and original paintings from galleries. And there is a website which is set up by her family, and you can buy more affordable products such as cards, stationeries, tiles, puzzles, and calendars with her prints on. It's fun to send her cards to friends. It always makes them laugh. I will also leave a link below. Lastly, let me show a few paintings I like the most with Beryl's note. Once, someone suggested Beryl to create a scene seen through a keyhole. She loved it and created this painting. Then she said even she doesn't understand what's going on, so I'll leave it up to you. She wasn't particularly happy about this. But soon a new brilliant idea visited her. A butler peeping through the keyhole. And this naked voyeuristic butler is Beryl's version. Although they are separate paintings, perhaps we should put 2 side by side to complete a story. It is rare and very special to find artworks that you absolutely love and make you happy. Beryl's painting is one of them to me. It makes me smile and I never get bored of looking at them. I really look forward to her next retrospective exhibition. I'm not gonna miss it. I hope her family and museum curators are working hard. Well, they should. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and thumbs up. Until next time, bye bye.